If anybody has any questions, please, by all means, use the raise hand feature and we will get to you right away. Let's get into the Monday group call. Do apologize for the technical issue if we had one. And let's see. Okay, I don't see anybody with their hand up. Okay, Rafa Escobar got his hand up. Allowed to talk. Rafa, talk to me, boss. What's going on?
Hey, Kev, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, man. Well, today I don't have a question just quite yet. I just wanted to give you an update, and if that's okay with you, kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, by all means.
All right, cool. I never really been one to express myself in this way, but this group kind of has formed that for me. Just hearing people's updates inspired me along the way. So this is kind of my way of paying it forward because, man, when I tell you I've never felt this good about myself, I have never felt this good about myself. And I'm telling you because I feel like you deserve to hear that. Your program is absolutely spectacular. Like just the last 3 to 4 months have been nothing but grueling hard work, and not in the way that I was used to, just in a very challenging internal way. And it's brought me to a point where when I'm feeling low, I come here and you pick me up every time. And it's just really put me in a position to just where I feel like my future has something in store for it. And there's no better feeling. And I just really wanted to say thank you. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep working. I got my speaker video demo in. I got my speaker info kit done. And, you know, at one point, that shit felt so far away that I never even thought that it was possible. Now I'm here and I'm ready to continue forward, and just wanted to really say thank you and express my gratitude because you've changed my life. And I believe you deserve to hear that.
Well, thanks, Rafa. I really appreciate that, man. And, this is the reason why we were built to help people like you that, that were foggy and they didn't know how to build a bridge out of uncertainty. And that happens. That happens to us a lot in our lives, man. We simply don't. We've either lost our way or we want to do something, and we're lacking the higher level mentorship. And we're not born with marketing expertise like LeBron James was born with the athletic ability to jump high and be a great athlete like that, man. That's a natural gift. Marketing isn't a gift. It's a learned skill. And it's hard for people to understand that you can be natural at a lot of things. I'm a natural born writer. I have a lot of creative gifts and talents that I was blessed with, but I had to develop and cultivate every last one of them, in order to reach a higher level expertise. And the reason why we appreciate the work ethic of students like you and many others is because I've literally seen you grow right before our eyes. Rafa, remember when you were struggling, bro, about putting the cart before the horse? You were overthinking stuff. You were talking way too fast. I mean, your speaker video demo is very refreshing. I mean, you followed the formula, but you figured out a way to turn it into something that's really all about you and your brand. You taking your time. Your messaging is polished, poised, and professional. I mean, you've done every single thing we've ever asked you to do. And it is absolutely a thrill to watch a student like you grow that was struggling before. Listen, Rafa, when I told you were speedballing, you slowed down. When I told you were talking too fast, you started talking more, at a rate of speed where it had you more in control. When your messaging was a little bit off and I told you how to fix it, you immediately jumped in there and fixed it. Bro, let me tell you something. You're one of the best examples that we had on this platform of what happens when you're lacking the confidence, you're second guessing yourself. You have the skill set, but you were just so hard on yourself. And Rafa, I literally saw one support ticket that you sent in change the entire way that you go about managing your brand. And I'm telling you, brother, right now, the content that you're producing with the short videos, with the stuff where you're chilling in the living room, dropping videos from the baby's room, with the people, you and Amy back there in the gym going hard. Your speaker video demo took me on a journey of everything you were about from the moment we talked on the phone, our very first call, all the way through you hitting every bump in the road in this curriculum. And last but not least, Rafa, because you know, it's a moment of celebration, brother. I know you're not ready to do outreach yet, and I know you're getting ready to get to module 5 and do all of that. But do you remember when on one of the Q&A calls, and I grabbed the microphone because I always got them handy next to me. Remember, I grabbed the microphone. I said, Rafa, this is you. You want to be on stage without doing the work. This is you, and you start laughing. And when I did that, because I said, wow, I remember when I used to be that guy, you know. And for you to listen to me and respond the way you have, it's pretty amazing. And I got to take my hat off to you, because the student is truly ready for the lesson, but the student is getting the lesson and really working it in a masterful way. You got to stay entrenched in your brand, because I'm telling you right now, when I tell you that I can see that you're feeling yourself right now, and you got confidence coming out of every orifice of your body, I see it, brother. And if I see it, the meeting planner is going to see it. And I'm going to tell you the main reason why, to put a cherry on top of everything I said, because it's the value. It's not Rafa this and Rafa that. It's what I can do for you, what you should be doing to feel better about yourself, how exercising can make you feel better mentally, physically, spiritually. Brother, you're letting it come out. Unscripted, unadulterated, pure truth. And that's why I love you, bro.
Man, I'm going to take that. That's going to help me sleep for the rest of my days right there. Thank you, bro. You have no idea. I'm going to just soak every last word of that up, because, like I said, this is something truly special. And the fact that we get you on every Monday, I think you'd be crazy not to be here. You know what I mean? So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for every last word that you spoke, because I was listening. So thank you.
Yeah. And let me tell you something, man. You're very welcome, by the way. And there's no way I would attempt to take credit all by myself. You know, Auston Troyer and the entire staff at speakerfocus.com, everything we've ever put into this is a team approach, and it's a family bond that we have, and it's camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood at its best. And it just spills over to the students. And like I firmly believe that whatever it is you put into your business and your craft, and when you're about service first, you're going to get that back. And you're going to get that back when you're not looking for anything in return. The only thing I ask the student to do is just do the work. And that's why everybody doesn't qualify for this program. That's the very reason why you did, is because I told you I was going to be on your ass like white on rice. I have been. We are. You send in support tickets. When you get it wrong, we tell you to correct it. You send it back. You clean it up. And you are thriving, bro. And imagine how you feel right now when you get past module number 5 and you start doing outreach, and you start talking to these conference coordinators, and you book the speaking engagements left and right. Because that's that's going to happen in the first quarter of 2022,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm ready.
You realize that? You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
absolutely.
watch this. This is the last thing I'm going to say to you. Govern yourself accordingly. Go to your wife and tell her, baby, I'm going to be gone. Because, see, it's going to be difficult for people to understand that you're about to go on tour, that I'm about to start booking these. And I know you still want to stay probably close to home because the baby is still young. But eventually, I'm telling you, it's going to be like a jailbreak. And you have to get you and everybody else around you ready for wealth, increase, overflow, and abundance. Because that's who you are, and that's what you do. So you got to get ready for that mindset that you have. See, you've been thinking about this for years, and now it's so now remember when I told you before, stay patient, stay in the cut, keep your head down.
Yeah.
Just go old dark 30 on everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Because you're getting ready to get into module 5, and that's when you got to be binge watching that like it's Netflix, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. And this is the best part. And I'm going to leave it here. This is the best part about this course. I turned that shit on my phone. I was freaking out because my laptop wasn't working. I was like, wait, hold up. Let me just go to my phone real quick. Put the phone on, put the AirPods on. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. I'm going to put my head down, get focused, and open my arms and get ready to receive what you've been telling me since day one, because you're the truth. And now I believe it. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, bro. Hey, look, just stay focused. Do what you got to do. I'm gonna catch up with you over the holidays too. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect, bro. Can't wait. I love you.
Okay, boss. Love you too. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay, we got Ed Babcock and then Edward Mosley Jr. is after that. Eddie.
KTR, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, I'm some kind of wonderful.
That's good. That's good. Hey, well, how's things in New Hampshire?
Hey, it became winter here the last few days. It was 10 degrees last night
Oh,
and supposed to get cold again tonight. But
oh yeah, and let me tell
that's
you something. I've been on tour.
the great
I'm sorry, go
part
ahead.
that's the great part about living here. The change of seasons, the leaves in the fall. Everybody's an outdoor sports fanatic here in the winter. So, but it's going
Yeah,
well.
well, Ed, your winters in New Hampshire run a little bit deeper into spring than most states.
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't start
Yeah.
getting 70 until what? May, if you're
Uh,
lucky, the end of May.
May or August.
Man, hey, listen, I was on tour there in in the in the in the spring,
Yep.
and man, it was still in the 50s. I said,
Yeah.
man, what is going on here?
Yep.
So
Well,
what's your question?
I hey, I think I'm doing well. I finished this week. I finished module 3 and module
Hmm.
4, getting ready to
Hmm.
launch into module 5.
Yes, sir.
I in the past for things that I have done, I have used the CRM called Trello. I'm not married to it.
Trello. Uh-huh.
I think it has some drawbacks to it, especially when it comes to things like being more automated in terms of sending out messages and that kind of stuff. So wondering
Gotcha.
if you can, and this may be covered in module 5, I don't know, but wondered if you
Uh-huh.
can recommend a CRM, talk a little bit about how to use it, etc. That's my question.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get Austin in here real quick because he is definitely the man who is definitely gonna dive into this in module number 5. However, he does have some insight. He had us on Trello at one time. We were using Salesforce, but he can jump in here and help you out with a CRM. What's your exact question to Austin? And I can get him to jump in.
Which CRM he would recommend, and then in terms of setting it up and using it, I know there's different categories you have as you go through there. What are
Hmm.
some categories that I want to make sure that I include for event planners?
Okay.
Hey Ed, yeah, so this is all broken down in week 5, so I'd go through
Okay.
that. But at a high level, the reason you don't want to use Trello and you want to use something like pipedrive.com or close.com, which are both great purpose built CRMs, is because they have features built in where you can one click, send a text, one click call, and it logs all this activity right inside the deals. And this stuff doesn't seem really important, but it is important when you're doing a high volume of contacts and you have all these different relationships you're building, and it
Yep.
helps keep it organized. And Trello's not it's not built for sales and CRM.
Yeah.
It's more a project management software. So you're
Right.
better off using the right tool for the job. And these tools are really cheap. You can get Pipedrive for $12 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I'd use Pipedrive or close.com, and I show in week 5 what stages to set up and all of that.
Okay. Well, I should have known. You
No, it's
guys,
great. Trello
you
is
got
great for getting started and keeping it simple, but at some point you want to save time because it's just you're doing a million different actions every
right.
day with sales, and every minute you can save is return on investment. So
I would typically. It was easy for me to spend an hour a day on Trello, and it's like okay. there's got to be some simpler way to do this.
Yep.
So, well, thank you. Like I said, I should have known that you guys had this all covered. I just didn't get that far yet.
All good.
Okay.
Hey, Ed, thank you, Austin. Hey, Ed, before you go,
Yeah.
I remember you sent a support ticket one time that said this was like a master class, or like going back to college and taking a master class in professional speaking. You
Yes,
had
it
no
is.
idea, yeah, that it was so detailed of
Yep.
how we put together the curriculum. And
Yep.
you know, Ed, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you're a person that pays attention to details, and I want you to think. The first time I had to use a CRM. I didn't really know what I was doing. I used something like MailChimp back in the day, or Constant Contact,
Yep.
and those are lower level CRMs that allow you to manage your database. But when you start using something like Close and Pipedrive and things of that nature, what it does is it really it's for the person that doesn't have discipline,
Right.
because you're going to need that. You have to keep track of all these data points. One thing I've really learned on a higher level by working with Austin, it's just because of the way he thinks, and he forces me to think at a higher level when it comes to technology. And it's his job as a CTO to create a vision for where we need to go with our products and how we serve those products. And I have to integrate the curriculum and the speaking technical aspects into what he feels is going to work to service the market properly.
Yep.
And the reason why I'm saying it to you, Ed, is because a lot of times when we're old school, we get stuck in something like Trello. We get stuck in a Constant Contact. But it does. Watch this. If Austin recommends a software to you, it's because it generates revenue. It's because it supports your sales funnel. It's because it keeps you organized. There's always a reason why he's asking you to do it. And as you're going to see when you get to Module 5, he has a gift of simplifying technology and removing the fear for those who are fearful of that. And this is something we really need to tackle and master. So send as many support tickets as you can, and so we can get you set up the right way. The thing about you have an excellent product. You are a premier leadership speaker, and the money's there to earn, but you got to hit every single bump in the road, just like how you've gone through it so far. Show up on the Q&A call, submit the support tickets. You're getting results because you do the work. And again, I got to take my hat off to you, and I got to say that because you need to hear it, that you're not in it by yourself. Just don't be afraid right now. You are approaching a great opportunity in 2022, and you're not that far away. You sure as hell not at the beginning, and you've done a lot of work to get to this point. But Module 5 is where you learn how to make all the money. You got it?
I like it.
Okay. All right. We appreciate you. Looking forward to it, Ed. Listen, happy holiday season to you and your family.
Hey,
Stay
thank
warm.
you.
I know you will. Put some earmuffs on. And
Put another dog on the bed.
yeah. Yeah, hey, look, Ed, I know it, man. I don't know how you do it, brother, but I'm telling you right there, it's so cold in New Hampshire. I'll talk to you real soon, all right?
Hey, you too. Thanks, KTR.
Okay, boss. See you on January 3rd on the next Monday Q&A. Okay. Well, pretty amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go to Edward Mosley Jr. Edward, I love Edward's kind of energy. You can't get more confident than Edward Mosley Jr. Ed, talk to me, brother. What's going on with you?
Can you hear me, KTR?
Man, I hear you loud and clear, brother. What's going on with you? Ed, you are the most positive force of happiness I've ever met in my life. What's going on with you?
Hey, I am. Hey, first of all, I want to just say I'm glad to hear you back, and you're moving and doing things like when I first met you. So I'm glad things are working themselves out, and you're back
Yeah,
in
thank you, man.
in a space. You're back in a place.
Appreciate it,
But
brother.
basically, I want to say, KTR, that based where I am right now is 100% based on you and Austin's machine. And I cannot say that enough. And just to show you a win, a huge win from the you know, from working with you all,
Okay.
based on going through those modules and doing everything, you know, and my level of confidence has completely increased. But to share a big win with you is I sent in a support ticket, and I think I asked you, how do I capture a coaching contract? And you know, you answered it. And what I was able to do with that was I was able to book the client. You know, I used Pipe Drive, you know, kept it moving. I was able to book that client as an individual coach. Now, this is a corporate client and a consultant.
Okay.
But what I was able to do is show them that they were actually looking for an external coaching program. So I was able to go out and find them like 10 to 15 coaches that will be coaching in their external coaching program.
Okay.
Now, to make it even better, the coaches that I refer to them, the coaches have agreed in a referral agreement to pay me 15% of their total coaching contract.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, but my point is based on the modules, based on the Q&As, based on the networking and communication, I didn't have one freaking problem getting the price that I wanted.
Wow.
My speaking, I got an interview after I get off the call tonight here shortly.
Okay.
Those have increased.
Okay.
I mean, I've increased my hourly rate in my overall speaking rates. So, you know, keeping my head down, being quiet, and just doing the work. That's what I want to just kind of throw out there. So, you know, thanks to you and Austin, things are just they're catapulting.
Ed, let me ask you a question. Well, first of all, thank you. And I have to say that the very reason why you're getting results is because of your work ethic. You can have the best system in the world. You could have the best training modules and the way the curriculum is designed. And I put it together like that, and Austin put it together like that for a reason. We knew what wasn't being taught. And like any other maverick, pioneer, trailblazer, you go out there and say, okay, this is what I feel. Okay, everybody has done it their way. I've tried it other people's way. I've been through their programs. You know, sometimes, Edward, in the past, I've just purchased a product for $5,000 or $10,000 just to open it up to see how it was put together.
Right.
I didn't really want it. I just opened it up because I wanted to see how the packaging was put together. That's the kind of money that I've spent to learn how to do this. And then when you start realizing that, you say, wow, okay, now it's my turn. Now it's my turn to get it right. It's my turn to do it a different way. It's my turn to teach people things that I know that they're supposed to have so they can have success. Now, our philosophy is you see it working with us and the way you've responded to Speaker Focus, and there's a reason why you're getting results. Now, we just want you to go out and do the same thing with your client. It's the service first mindset, ask questions, do the needs assessment, see if your signature programs are going to be a good fit. Let that branch out and then start dominating with the golden triangle system of speaking, coaching, and consulting, which is what you're just telling me that you're doing right now. You're adding different offerings because you're capable of doing it, because you actually got the talent, because you built out your speaker business the right way. See, now your speaker business is set up to facilitate these kind of transactions like coaching gigs, getting the residual 15% revenue off the other speakers. You don't even have to be there doing the services, but you're still getting the money. I mean, you got to be pretty smart, first of all, to put together a deal like that. But how is your revenue increase? Like, if you had to put it on a percentage scale, from what were you making before versus what you're offering now? Because it sounds to me like you're having a different kind of pricing conversation to earn the revenue. So talk to me about that.
So what I will say, KTR, is I would say my pricing has increased 100%. I was not confident, and you spoke to me about this earlier. I was not confident in what I was charging.
You talked about that in the first call, didn't we?
Yeah, the first call, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And even my accountant was like, hey, you need to increase your fees because you're spending too much. So it became one of those things of, okay, it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty, and what value I bring to any client is far more than, you know, than what I was charging. And I have no hesitancy whatsoever of putting my price on the table. Because the way I looked at it, KTR, some of these executive coaching gigs, they could be 50 to 60, $100,000 a year. And so why would I refer somebody to a client and not get any of that? No. If you want me to refer you, I want 15% minimum. And that's in writing before I even refer them.
Well, that's a reasonable management fee. You wouldn't be out of pocket if you asked for 20.
Correct.
Because guess what? They never would have got that business if it wasn't for you. See,
correct.
I can tell you that the training industry for C-suite executives and on-site training and designing curriculum and licensing programs, the direction you're headed in, man, it's literally millions of dollars there. What I would say to keep this above board and as clean as possible so your reputation doesn't get soiled, you make sure that you vet those speakers and those trainers and those facilitators to make sure that they can actually deliver at a level that you can deliver, because all speakers are not created equal, brother. Remember that. So you make sure that they can. I'm talking about kick ass and take names. You are absolutely confident that if you sent that trainer in there, you know they're going to get great evaluation forms, because you set this up right and you choose the right speakers. You could be eating off of this for the rest of your life. That's just the way it is. The meeting planner, they want the value and man, why do you think I've HUD asked me to come back 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 times? Why do you think Verizon asked me to come back multiple times? Yeah, bro, they keep booking me over and over and over again. You know why? Because I go in there, break them down like boot camp, give them the strategies that they need, speak unadulterated with the truth, high energy. Edward, you and I, we cut from the same cloth. I told you that. You okay? Now I gotta give you a real compliment here, because it's not that you were in your own way, but you were so worn down with the bullshit from these other coaching programs. You had a little edge of skepticism, like, man, I just don't know if I want to try another one. Like, you were there and we talked about that, but guess what? We got past it. We got past it because of hey, Edward, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I had to talk to you a little extra rough to get you to hear me so that you would understand what you were missing, because I understand that you had got not necessarily burned, because you did get value from the other programs. They just didn't have the ability to go into detail as much as we did on the platform. So this is what spending money is all about. And I'm glad that you're not bitter about it. Edward, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, bro, hundreds of thousands in my career to get to where I am right now. You can't be a stranger to dropping money and learning and growing on a whole nother level. But look at what you're doing with it right now. So here's the question. Now that you upgraded your pricing, now that you know how to have the proper pricing conversation, look at you, Edward. You're putting together these consulting deals, these coaching deals. You got some other people. You're dipping the straw in other contracts, milkshake to get the residual. So what is your first quarter look like when it comes to revenue? What do those projections look like?
So I'm projecting to at least make, and I'm gonna put a number out there, and I've never did this before, but I'm gonna put a number out there. I'm projecting to make at least $5,000 in the first quarter, and I've never did that before.
Okay,
that's minimum. That's where I am minimum.
Okay, is that off of just fees off of the contract you're putting together, or your okay? That's not talking about your speaker fees.
No. That's just getting that residual because they want to kick off their program in January.
Okay.
So just those coaches, that 15%, that's just that.
Got you.
Now
Okay.
they're also bringing me in to coach their operational and executive level. So that's not even including that piece of it.
Okay, good. Okay, now let me ask you this, because I'm glad we're having this conversation, and I appreciate you, always sharing with the group your ideology and your approach. A lot of times, I believe, like a lot of our students, they just don't feel comfortable talking about their speaker business, on camera or sharing it with the group or whatever. And I understand that, but when you're in a mastermind group like this, you don't waste the opportunity on people that have access to millions and millions of dollars worth of information that can make you money. So the fact that you discuss it and come back to get the support and then share your experience about what you learned on the platform and see what you're doing, Edward, and I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you real close. You are taking from the blueprint and you're innovating. You're turning this into something you're turning this into something different about your brand. And you got a high business IQ. So I'm not surprised about this, that you're not just keeping it in the lane of speaking. And I'm also glad that we're talking about a number, because a lot of our students, they're not having that conversation with themselves. They're not putting a dollar figure on how much money they're going to make in the first quarter of 2022. So let's start with Q1 goals when it comes to just speaking revenue. And what are you looking at for your goal for the entire 2022 campaign? Because our job is to support you so you can make that revenue. So what is that?
Well, based on module 5, I should be making $100,000 a year.
Okay.
And so again, once I get to that part of the pie, so first of all, KTR, I have not booked any speaking gigs for 2022 just yet, because I've been focusing on getting the module and everything, getting all of that machine working properly, getting my pipe dry. So that's where I've been completely focused at.
Yep. Okay.
And I know those. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I just wanted to inject this in real quick. So, how do you know it's set up the right way? What's the litmus test? How do you know your CRM and all of that stuff in module 5 that Austin's asking you to do? How do you know that's all working?
Yeah, because I'm testing it.
You're testing it, okay? Now, so, and that's where I was getting to. So while you're testing, send the data to Austin and let him know what you put together and the effects that you're getting from doing the test. Perhaps he can get in there and give you some information on how to test it and make the test better, and then collect the data. And then he's going to send you back and say, hey, listen, all of this is ready and good. Boom, start doing outreach and start filling up your marketing pipeline with qualified prospects.
Yeah, because the one thing I will say in module 5 especially in pipe drive, I have not been able to get to those 30. I think he wants us to do 30 a day.
Yeah.
So it is a system. So I am getting there. And I have seen some traction on those. And so I am testing it that way.
But share the data. Share the data.
I will. Okay.
Yeah. Just share it, because whatever it is you send over, he's gonna tell you, hey, Edward, it sounds like you're on the right track. Tweak this, do that, boom, jump back in there. It's good that it's a slow drip in the beginning. Yep. We gotta have some patience. It's like a bag of microwave popcorn. You're in the stage right now where you just put the bag in there, but real soon you're gonna hear pop, 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 and every one of them pops is somebody opting into your sales funnel, and it's only a matter of time before. Remember, in the game of, when it comes to lead generation, you win by attrition. A lot of people at the top of the sales funnel, which the reason why Austin wants you to do 30 a day is because if you're doing outreach to 100 coordinators a week, and you only get 2 to say, I'll schedule a call, and one of them wants to book you, and you're doing that every week, that's $20,000 worth of revenue added to your business model, and that's over $100,000 a year. Yep. That ain't 100. It's easy to do 100. And I have no doubt that you're going to do that. So this is for you and everybody else. Put a number. If I were you, Edward, I'd be trying to raise it to 250. Strive for 250, and maybe you'll hit 100. Maybe you hit 150. Maybe you're doing so many things right, you actually go past 250 and surprise yourself. But always put a dollar amount on what you want to achieve when it comes to revenue, because the subconscious mind has nothing to attach itself to if you don't get a vision board up and you don't do some income projections and some sales figures, because close and pipe drive will help you manage the sales figures you're supposed to be hitting. Now, I know when I got a number that I'm supposed to hit, whether or not it's a generating sufficient dollar revenue to pay bills. Okay, Austin wants to spend more money on ads. That's my job, is to make sure that the revenue is on point. It's his job to make sure the system, and I have to give him the data and then back and forth to tweak those numbers to make sure we're hitting our sales goals. And believe me, if the numbers are off just a little bit, I get an email through Slack to tell me I'm not doing something right. And if I feel like the lead flow is off, I'll send it to Austin. I'll be like, bro, something is wrong. I can feel it. Anytime my calendar is not full to the top with leads, boom, I send a message to Austin, and then he tweaks whatever numbers go on the back end. So that's why the data on the sales side has got to be fed into the machine, and then the machine's got to respond to generate the revenue. Because if it ain't making no revenue, Edward, that means you're doing something wrong. And that's where we come in and say, okay, Edward, this is what you need to do to fix it. That's the kind of effort. When you put it into that, that's the kind of effort that's going to get you more revenue in 2022. You got it?
Yes, I do. And just one last thing, and I know we talked about it before, and I think Alex, not Alex, yeah. Was it Alex? Yeah, I think Alex hit on it. I think I'm at a point to where I may need an assistant. So I think that's going to help me generate more leads and more in pipe drive and more, clients.
Okay. Train up the assistant. If that's what you're going to do, I see so many people on our platform that want to hire a VA, or they want to hire a virtual assistant. I mean, they want to hire an assistant, some type of intern or whatever. And they think that the intern is going to go out there and start generating them a lot of revenue without training. Whoever you get to work with you, they've got to be trained.
Yep.
They can show up on the Monday call with you if you want. I don't care. But that person that's going to be working with you has got to learn how to help you manage yourself. Everybody needs help managing, but they need something to manage. And if you don't give them something to manage and you don't train them how to help you help yourself, they are not going to deliver. And then you're going to keep having a high turnover because you're going to get rid of them because they're not doing what you need them to do. Get them to support you so you can start freeing up your time, if that's going to give you more time to do outreach, because that's the only thing that matters is you speaking to conference coordinators. And if you're not talking to a certain amount of coordinators every single week, that means that you're not hitting the mark of booking. You got to have a goal. How many engagements do you want to book every month on average? Give me a number.
I want to book at least 5 a month.
Okay, to hit 100,000. So to hit 100,000 a year, if you're on average a minimum with the engagements you got coming up, are they paying $5,000 plus for an hour or a day?
Gotcha.
Is that happening? Is what I'm asking.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. Then how you tweak the revenue? Obviously, we don't want to turn down the business because you're engaging with somebody, but remember what your fee is supposed to be. $5,000 for 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour. $7,500 for the half-day program, which is 2 to 4 hours. $10,000 for the full-day program, which is 4 to 8 hours. Those should be your domestic fees, plus business class accommodations, hotel and airfare for 2.
Yes, sir.
Your ground transportation should be luxury town car, SUV, or limousine that picks you up to and from the home or tour city destination airport. If you got to go speak overseas, all the fees double on all levels plus expenses. These fees still apply when you are booking virtual gigs. Now, I know you got a different pricing structure set up because it's coaching and it's consulting. But when it comes to the speaking, keep that in mind. If you don't ask, you don't get. Set a number of gigs that you want every month. If it's 5, that means that's $25,000 a month in speaking revenue. That's not talking about your coaching or the consulting that you're doing. That's very doable. That's very doable. You do enough outreach and you can very easily, watch this. Here's when you're going to start seeing the real effect. Month 1, slow drip, maybe no gigs. Month 2, month 3. When you get to month 4 and 5, you talk to so many coordinators and now they're circling back. You're managing your CRM, you're updating. They're telling you that they got a gig for you. Somebody's going to tell you they got a gig for you in 2023. Still got to, it's not ready the time to do the gig, but they still got to send you a 50% non-refundable deposit. And what you want is activity. And that's why I'm telling you to share the data and submit the support tickets, because right now you need more support than ever. Well, you don't want the whole machine to fall apart right now. And we don't want to get excited because we got a couple of licks. Gotcha. No, this is a slow grind, but I'm telling you, when that bag of microwave popcorn starts getting hot, it's over. Okay. Reach the goal, brother. Set the goal. 5 gigs a month for speaking at $5,000 to $25,000 a month. That's more than $100,000 a year. So set the bar higher. Why not? I know you're not afraid. That's not your style. And I know you got the confidence. So guess what? Put the numbers to support your vision. You're going to surprise yourself in 2022. Mark my words. Hey, you got any other questions?
No, sir. I'm good.
Oh, I know you are. All right, brother. Well, I'll be talking to you real soon. Love you, man.
Okay.
Stay focused.
Love you too. All right.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Okay. Always a thrill to talk to Edward Mosley. Always a thrill to talk to him. We're going to go Lisa Allman Baldwin, and then we're going to go to Alex. And if we don't have any other questions after that, we're going to wrap up. So be thinking about some questions that you have, because we're going to wrap this up after Alex and Lisa, if no one else has any other questions. Lisa Allman Baldwin, talk to me.
Hey, Kev, can you hear me?
Yes, Lisa, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I have a feeling that you're getting very close to getting a deposit check to secure a booking. You haven't sent me any support tickets. I haven't heard from you in a minute, but I got a feeling that something's heating up over there. Talk to me.
Okay, well, I got just a few things. So first, I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Did you say this is the last call, the coaching call for the year, so we don't have one next Monday?
Yeah, I'm going on vacation, and okay. I need some much needed rest. And me and Austin are retooling some things, and the staff and support team are, it's like we're going to be down for maintenance, and we got a lot going on. So, and it's holiday time and Christmas and all of that kind of stuff. And so we're going to reconvene on January the 3rd. It's going to be our first Q&A of 2022. This will be the last one of this year.
Okay, that's all right. I didn't catch the call last week, so I didn't know if you had mentioned it last week, and since I missed it because I was traveling, but okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a little ditto off of Rafa. So I'm out of sorts because I traveled back from Ecuador. It's, it's getting back in the States. It's, trying to get settled for Christmas. It's both of my kids flying in, yada, yada, who, and I'm just off my game on everything. Doctor's appointments, I'm just cranky. But, I when I get like that, I know I get like that. And so I just attend my own lecture, I say.
Right.
And talk myself off the ledge, just like I do, when I'm giving my talks and everything. And I did have a talk last weekend and everything. So anyway, I'm just explaining where I am. I'm just cranky. But I do have a strategy call tomorrow.
Okay.
Someone who we've been going back and forth through LinkedIn for probably a couple of months because she was, involved in other things. But anyway, so she is let me tell you her title. She is It's a healthcare company. I'm not going to say the name. It's a healthcare company. Her job title, she is the experience, strategy, and transformation professional.
Look at that title.
And then in the when she booked it through Calendly, the question for please tell me a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish with the strategy call. She said, would like to learn more about your work to see if you may be a good fit as a speaker for our employee engagement event.
Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that message. Now, again, well, let me just pause it right there, because you gotta listen to the message that these meeting planners, all of them talk alike. They're so predictable. They just want the value. They're looking to see if you're going to be a good fit for their organization. You want to be able to see whether or not that organization or association is going to be a good match for your professional speaking services. And this is the reason why we have the first strategy call. Go ahead.
No, so that's it. So I just like I said, I'm just off key here, and I know I have the questions to ask and all of that. So I basically need some cheering, and then if you have any extra insights into if things might go a different way with her than they usually do when I'm talking to my market, which is the faith-based market, I guess.
Right. Okay, now keep in mind, Lisa, that, well, first of all, you've been patient and you've been supportive of me when I was a little off. And believe me, I've had a whole lot of off days. And I've been cranky over the last couple of months.
Right.
So the love and support goes right back at you. This is just what happens when you got to live life. And, we're in a COVID world with this new variant that's out right now, and everybody's talking about going on lockdown again. It's just listen, it's just really rough on everybody. This is the way it's been. And this is life getting in the way. With that being said, you got to allow yourself the opportunity to feel and emote whatever it is that you're going through. And then we have to come to terms of what it is. And sometimes, Lisa, I sit around and I say, man, my energy feels a little funky today, and then I just get off somewhere to myself. Sometimes rest will do it. Like I get real vulnerable and I got trust issues. When my energy gets run down, you feel like you're delivering service to people all day long. And at the end of the day, you know what? I got to shut this down. I got to sit in my massage chair. I have got to center myself. When I take a nap and I wake up or I get a really good night's sleep, oh man, I'm like, okay, that's exactly what I needed. I just needed to get some rest. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe just, it's the holiday time. We all get on each other's nerves because you're seeing family you ain't got to really accommodate. You're like, damn, do you have to come over my house and drink up all my shit, and eat up all my food? I really don't like seeing you, but I got to deal with you. Okay, well, I can't wait till this is over. Everybody just got to relax and everything will be fine. Remember, a problem is a fixable dilemma. It's only temporary. Now let's get into giving you the support you need to go into this call tomorrow. Because I don't want you, when you're going through a bad time, to think that you don't have some value because they may not be in the faith-based market. Lisa, you do not have to feel like you are restricted, like it's against the rules to jump over to the corporate and association market just because you've been having all this success and all these great strategy calls with the faith-based market. You got it?
Yeah, I don't feel that. It's just that, and maybe I didn't explain very well. It's just that I'm so off my game right now. Like what I was saying, and I'm not trying to waste everyone's time with my personal stuff, but when I get where I'm completely overwhelmed, I know about myself. What I need to do is just shut down some stuff altogether. So like, I'm not gonna try and record any videos for the rest of the year. I don't even think I can do my LinkedIn outreach for the rest of the year. I need to follow up on people I sent out for my tour, but I mean, I'm just so overwhelmed with the travel and, you know, trying to get to see my kids and getting settled in the Airbnb and all this other stuff. I just have to just cut it, or else I'm gonna jump off a cliff somewhere. So
just simplify.
So she had booked this call with me like 10 days ago. And of course I'm not going to cancel or anything, but I'm just, I have time in the morning to go through and get recentered and everything, because I can't even do it tonight because my brain's but I just want, I guess I just want to hear, given what she's specifically asking for, just your feedback.
Okay. What kind of company is this, by the way?
It's a healthcare company.
Healthcare company. So they're not this is not a faith-based client. This is a corporate client, right?
Right.
Okay. So then remember, all you have to do is you still have a leadership topic. You still know what you're talking about. You still have great value. They were talking, I don't believe you said equity and inclusion. What was the other topic?
She said, let me look at it again. Hold on. We'd like to learn more about your work to see if you may be a good fit as a speaker for our employee engagement events.
Engagement. Okay, now, let's just see what employee engagement means. That means that the company needs to engage employees in some type of training or learning to increase performance, efficiency, time management, organizational skills, management skills, whatever, communication. So think about the closest signature program that you may be able to offer them that will help them solve their needs, that will help them fix the limitation that they have. What are the deficiencies? This is where the needs assessment comes in, and you listening. So I will go into a mode of listening first. Lisa, don't ever be afraid to lose a gig. If it's yours, you're going to get it for all the right reasons, but don't go into it thinking, God, I'm going to lose it. Am I going to say the wrong thing? No. First of all, you have exactly what they need. They just don't realize it yet. She's willing to take the call to see, listen to the verbiage, to see if you would be a good fit for what they want to accomplish. Now, it's your job. See, this is where the simplicity and mastery of managing the sales cycle comes into play. Because what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to ask the right questions. Selling is not convincing. You're not convincing her that you are a hell of a speaker. You're not convincing her that you have a topic that is going to work for the employee engagement event. You're going to listen to her first. You're going to let her spill her guts and sing like a jailbird about everything that's going wrong. And that's why you got to ask the right questions. So before we get started, Miss, perhaps we can talk about some of the challenges that you're facing right now. What are you trying to accomplish with your employee engagement event? What do you feel like you need to get out of this so-called training, keynote speech, half-day program, full-day program? What are you looking for? And then when she tells you what she's looking for, you're not going to just make up shit and force your way in. You're going to say, okay, I got it. Because Lisa, when you got as many repetitions in as me, and you've done enough outreach up to this point, they all sound alike, Lisa. They all have the same problem. It all sounds like the same thing. And so now you're going to take the closest signature program you have to remedy the challenges that she told you about. This is the reason why I created an acronym, surrounding focus, that directly addresses the top 5 to 10 challenges that meeting planners face. This is the reason why I taught you to design signature programs and write curriculum. It doesn't matter what they say to you, one of your signature programs is going to work for them. Mm-hmm. The very fact that she accepted the invitation says that she felt comfortable enough to at least have a conversation with you so you can see whether or not it's going to work. Remember, you win in lead generation by attrition.
If it's not that meeting planner, it's going to be another one and another one and another one and another one. And you're going to keep talking to them. Let me tell you something. Sales is so much fun when you have command over everything. There is nothing a prospect can say to me that I haven't heard before. There's not anything a speaker can tell me in the marketplace that I can't help them with. And that's how good you got to be at your job. Now take this into the meeting with you tomorrow, Lisa. You're that good at what you do. All I'm asking you to do is be Lisa Allman Baldwin. I guarantee you this. Look at my face before the meeting and stand in front of the mirror and put that beautiful smile on your face. And then it's go time. That's all you gotta do is listen to it. You have exactly what they're looking for. Take that confidence in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It does make sense.
You ain't gotta force your way in. You don't have to force your way in. All you gotta do is be Lisa Allman Baldwin. I love her so much, and so will they.
All right, thank you. And that was very helpful with what Ed shared and what you told Ed about setting out goals for next year. You know, and
goals.
writing them down, which is kind of funny now that I'm saying it out loud, because I just gave a talk at my church yesterday. And that was one of the points I said about writing down I am affirmations and not just writing them down, but putting them where they can see it and repeat it, you know, several times during the day. But I like what you said about the subconscious mind not having anything to attach itself to. So, so that's part of what I'm gonna do, you know, either right before the new year or right after, because I'm just fried. I'm fried by life right now, and that's all I can do. But I will do what you said about for tomorrow, and yeah.
Yes. So just remember that you work very hard to build a brand, and you are the brand, and the brand is you. It's Lisa Allman Baldwin. It's the intelligence, it's the writing ability, it's the creativity, it's the compassion, it's the listening skills that you have, it's the wonderfully beautiful personality that you have. It's the very fact that you can go in and deliver the value, and that you do pay attention to things like that, and you serve first. If I'm wrong about any of that, I need to be doing something different for a living. I know exactly who you are. Now you got to go in there and show the meeting planner exactly who you are every single time. Remember, Lisa, they don't have the leverage. You have the leverage. Remember this. She's in need of a speaker. You got to show her that she's going to have the right one when you talk to her tomorrow. Think about the advantage that you have. And I don't think speakers understand what real leverage that they have. Because you can literally go to hundreds of thousands of corporations globally, hundreds of thousands of faith-based organizations. There are literally millions of choices. But a meeting planner can only go to one place in the world to book Lisa Allman Baldwin. And that's a fact. She doesn't have a million choices when it comes to speakers that can deliver at the level that you can. And I want you to remember that, because all these other speakers talking out of their asses, they aren't even in contention to get a strategy call booked. How about that? They're sitting at home, empty calendar, no bookings in sight, broke, begging, desperation mode. They don't have the proper messaging. They don't have the right kind of sales tools. They don't have Auston to tell them how to put together their lead generation system. They don't have the outreach capability, and they don't have the slow drip happening for you like you got right now with meeting planners booking time on your calendar. And then you got the opportunity tomorrow to show them once again that you're waking up and that you're facing the fears that you have. Get rid of all your inhibitions and understand that you have the leverage. The meeting planner doesn't. I can go get a check from anybody. They just can't go get another Kevin T. Robertson. And you got to make them feel why they need to hire you. See, I just go right to the pain. You know, my favorite line is in sales, Lisa, and I bring this up to people who need a little need a little help making a decision. Because again, our lead generation is so strong, I don't have to sit around and hold my breath and wait for people to say yes to me. So I tell people, this is what I tell them. Can you afford to sit on the sidelines for the next 3 to 6 months? Now that you have this information in your hands, can you afford not to be learning this? Because in another 3 to 6 months, your speaker business will be looking totally different. Lisa, remember 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago? Remember what you didn't know about your speaker business, but you know now?
Right.
You have training and you have your business set up properly to facilitate business transactions. Go in there and show the meeting planner tomorrow the very best of you. And I guarantee the next time you give me a report on what's going on with this, once you get past yourself with your attitude that you got with yourself right now, because believe me, I've had one with myself for the last 2 months, but I've had to figure out a way to get my head out of my ass and still show up and serve other people. Serve first. Serve first. Help her with her challenges or her deficiencies or her limitations. Find out what's broken her organization. Oh, by the way, go to the website and do a little bit of research on this company. Pull up any videos that they have. Get some insight on what they go through as an organization. Visit their Facebook page. Do some real research and be prepared for the call tomorrow. Like I know you're going to be. Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I see people putting stuff in the chat of support, so I appreciate that.
It's blowing up. Your brothers and sisters love you, and so do I.
All right. Thank you, Kev. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll be talking to you real soon. Can't wait to hear the update on that.
Okay.
I know you're going to do well. Listen, if you need anything prior to the call, send me an emergency text like I know you will, and let me know what I can do to help you. Lisa, did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Did you hear me?
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. It cut out.
Yeah, no, I said thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, no problem. Talk to you real soon.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're going to keep on moving forward, and let me see. I got to go back to my Zoom. Okay, here it is. Okay, let me see. Got somebody else. Their hand up. Got to put Lisa's hand, lower hand. I'll move to Alex. Probably is going to be our last call unless anybody else has another question. Alex, talk to me, brother. What's going on with you?
Hey KTR, hey Austin, hey everybody. My thing is basically a follow-up on what everyone else has been talking about the grind and the burnout and pursuing the modules. And this, like, I started with you guys since February, right?
Yep.
So I guess, like, here's my updates. I guess it provides some type of inspiration. So right now I'm not doing the 30 people a day, but I'm at 15 a day. I have, out of those 15 a day, I get around 2 schedule a strategy call, one's interested, and then one's a maybe. And, you know, there's always the frustrations between that, you know. Like, I've had people jump on the call, or like the organization reshuffles, and then it's like a whole mess trying to find who the next contact person is. So when you talk about having the patience to do that, it's just, yeah, it's just, for me, it's been a lot of just taking the patience and then continue to moving on. But I guess one piece of advice that KTR did share a few weeks ago, and I think it's kind of beneficial now, is, you know, once you get the strategy call and you know they can't do your worth, make sure you try to cut it within 7 days and get the next one. So that became very useful just for my stuff with Trevor. But he's been getting books with his With You All the Way tour, which he does with schools and stuff like that. And people have been offspring in the bookings from that. So that's been doing very, very well. So yeah, I've been doing that. A lot of the market with him is school counseling conferences and stuff like that. but I did get approached from like some keynote speaking stuff too. So I guess I need to try to find like, I might have to ask you, KTR, and be like, hey, does anyone speak on this topic? Who can speak, and who's got everything done? Because I did speak to a few students on here, and unfortunately, like some of them didn't got all their stuff together yet. So my thing is like, if anyone who's ready to go, just send me a message and like, what's your topic area? And because I had some people like, even though Trevor wasn't the right fit, I was ready to refer to somebody else, but then I was like, I don't know who's ready. So
okay, well, if you have anything like that, you can definitely, I'll run it up the flagpole. I've had requests like that before from let me see, it's a partnership that we created through Espousal South Africa, where they asked me for some speakers that had a specific level of expertise. So I got 10 of our speakers on our platform who I felt would be a good fit, and I turned them on to that opportunity. We have Sri Lanka and India coming up as well, and I've asked some very strategic speakers but the only speakers that I can refer to them are the speakers who are in our top students, the ones who are doing the work, the ones who have the sales tools, and because obviously they're representing speakerfocus.com and themselves, and if they don't have the work done, I can't make any recommendations. So that's a challenge. Anytime you're doing referrals, you're putting your neck on the line for somebody, so you got to vet them and make sure they got their shit trumped up tight, so you're not sullying your reputation.
Exactly.
Because that's exactly what you're doing when you're telling us a meeting planner they love to get referrals.
Yeah.
Think about it. If I say, Alex calls me and he says, KTR, I am planning this meeting, and I say, yeah, I got a perfect speaker for you, and I just say it randomly. See, this is the reason why speakers have really got to understand that every gig is not for you. You can't be saying yes to everything just to get a check, because if it goes bad, and believe me, I've been on stage when it went bad a whole lot of times. I remember when I was so pressed to do a gig. See, this is when you don't have any leverage. You take anything that they give you.
Yeah,
you're still stuck in motivate. Yeah, you're desperate. You're stuck in motivational speaker mode. I tell you, I hopped on a plane one time to go to Atlanta for $200. And it was the worst gig I ever had in my life. The audience hated me. The meeting planner who booked me, they didn't like her, and they didn't like me. People were so upset. They wouldn't even listen to my messaging. I was all off. I felt like a fish out of water. It was a horrible experience. This is the reason why I have these stories for all of you, and you need to listen to me, because I've been in every scenario you can possibly imagine. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of scenarios of communication pieces, emails. Alex, how many times have you sent me an email and I tear it apart and put it back together and tell you to send it out like this instead of the way you had it? How many times?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, like 5 times a week. Easily.
And the reason why is because I know that you know what you're doing, but it's all I'm thinking about is, okay, when the meeting planner hears this, I literally have talked to every kind of meeting planner you can imagine, from the higher profile ones that do the really, really big events to the lower level ones who barely know what they're doing. But when I give you my word that I'm going to find a speaker for you, and then I tell you that I got the speaker, you automatically scratch that thing off your to-do list as a meeting planner, because you got so many things you got to manage, and I just help you solve one of them.
Yeah.
And when there's no feeling in the world, and I've seen this happen before. I've seen the meeting planner have a look of devastation on their face because the speaker pissed off, excuse me, pissed off the audience and didn't do what they needed them to do. All because it wasn't enough back and forth going on. And that's the reason why you've got to be patient, and you've got to vet these prospects, and you've got to manage these relationships properly, because when it feels right, and you know that you're the speaker for that particular event, not only do you get a standing ovation,
Not only are you going to get residual business, not only are you going to get people come up and shake your hand and tell you how you actually changed their life. That's why you got to make sure that you are the right speaker for that event. And that's why you got to know this organization is somebody who I want to serve. Then they have my money. Then I am a great fit for what they're trying to accomplish. Because every speaker is not a great fit for every event. And speakers try to force their way in all the time. That's why I'm on your ass so much, Alex, to get it right up front. Because when it's done right, it's going to reward you for decades.
Yeah.
You got any other questions?
No, that was basically it. I guess into like my goals, as everyone's been so transparent. I guess like for my goals for Trevor is trying to get him at least 5 speaking engagements a quarter. Which is doable, but it's just yeah, and then a lot of coordination with the tour. So and then especially with this new variant happening, like we already had a few conferences reaching out. It's like, we're going virtual now, you know, would you better do your virtual rate instead of your in-person rate, you know, because we have two different rates there, well 3 if it's international, there's a different rate there. So yeah, so just
okay, just make
flexible.
sure just make sure that, see, meeting planners are trying that kind of stuff right now, because they realize that speakers got desperate when the pandemic started. But you do not have to cut your rate just because it's a virtual gig.
Right.
That's what a lot of meeting planners got in their head, because all these other speakers are cutting deals and they're just desperate, just trying to get anything. So now they feel like, no, a high fee speaker doesn't need to do that. And Trevor damn sure doesn't need to do it.
No.
Now I'm saying that you can do it and get the money, but let me tell you something, bro. Cutting my fee in half, I'm missing out on $25,000. No. Oh, I'd rather not do the gig because I don't have to. See, that's the mindset. See, but it takes patience to do that. And you also got to be really good at lead generation. See, the better you get at lead generation, you're not going to have to go for these shenanigans. And for those who are not yet to my level of confidence, when it comes to saying F you and I'm not going to do it, or kiss my ass because you don't have my money, well, you got some growing to do. Because this is a game that's being played right now with speakers who are flooding the market, who are willing to do it for free. So now meeting planners are thinking, oh, I can find speakers a dime a dozen. But I guarantee you those speakers you're finding a dime a dozen don't have the real value.
Exactly.
See, some people just want a warm body. That's what I learned about the government contracting market. They don't want the best speaker. What they want is somebody who's going to service the contract for the lowest fee possible. And Alex, I got sick of them paying me $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, maxing me out at $6,000 for a full day worth of training when I was bringing the heat, knowing I was supposed to be getting $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. And that's why I stopped servicing the government contracting market, because I want to go someplace where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You got one of the most premier leadership speakers in the marketplace that you represent, and he's one of the best storytellers in the marketplace. The key is start attracting more high fee coordinators who are not going to ask them to take less just because it's a virtual. I don't give a damn if I'm speaking on a street corner or if it's a virtual gig. The value in the message is the value. Now, a real meeting planner understands that. Hey, Alex, think about this. Do you pull that shit when you go in and purchase a Rolls Royce Wraith? $256,000. Do you go into the dealership and ask for a discount on a 2022 model? Would you do that?
No. And then it also goes back to the same point of, like, you know, when I used to do my event planner for a graphics conference, like we booked 3 speakers at a lower fee, and it backfired on the conference instead of getting the premium one that I asked for. So yeah, it's so true. Like, you know, make sure you know your worth and you stick to it.
Okay. Now I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because let me just interject this in here real quick. Now let's get real specific. You want to be transparent. We don't have to give the speaker's name, but give me the the lower level speakers where they tried to save some money and budget, what were the fees that your board members paid out for those 3 speakers and versus the speaker that you wanted to pay the budget? Which one? Give me the fees.
I think the fees, okay, so my speaker fee was actually $5,000, and it was like plus travel and plus accommodations.
Okay.
And the conference wanted 3 speakers for $500 plus travel and plus accommodation. So they wanted to pay $1,500 versus $5,000, you know.
For one.
For one, yeah.
Yeah. And what have I been saying to all of you the entire time?
Yeah, and then you read, exactly, because then you have to fill out those feedback surveys, and then the feedback was like the quality of information was like generic and it was horrible. And then, you know, why did I fly to a different country to get the same information I could have got down the street? That kind of stuff.
Or online. Exactly. This is, now listen to this carefully, everybody, and you listen to me good of what one of your fellow students is sharing with you, who is an event coordinator, has sat on the board before, put together events, and his board members were being cheap. I can get anybody, I can call him my uncle right now and get him to go do a motivational speech and talk the same shit for $500 because he's never made $500 for an hour in his life.
Yeah.
And this is what a low fee coordinator or somebody who's trying to pinch pennies, this is what happens every single time. They go get 3 speakers for $500. And the content was horrible. You know why? Because I've been telling you this for years. And I'm the only person in this industry with the balls or guts enough to say this. Motivational or inspirational speakers they comprise 80% of the marketplace on YouTube, basically globally. They're talking loud and saying nothing. Their earning potential is restricted to $0 to $1,000 USD, or they speak for free a lot. They are in broke, begging, or desperation mode. They have lapses in income, empty calendar with no bookings in sight. When the meeting planner offers them $500, they will jump at the opportunity to take it because they don't have anything else. Now, the meeting planner doesn't really want a professional speaker. They just want a warm body to get in there just to say, we hired a speaker. Alex was in conflict because he knew that a speaker that makes $5,000 plus is one that's going to bring the heat. Would you agree, Alex?
Oh yeah, totally agree. And just doing it for the years and then taking the experience with the company I'm at now, yeah, with Trevor. So yeah, it's I totally agree, you know. And then I'm just, for everyone who's like, I don't want to like cheap their rate, just like stick to where you are, you know, stick to gun, the right opportunity will come. But it's, you know, I'm doing this fight with everybody, you know, I'm going through that same grind. So just know you're not alone.
Yeah, and believe me, let me share a mindset with you. And then Alice is probably going to be the last call unless anybody else raises their hand. But I do see that, Jonathan, I do want to acknowledge the fact that you put a question in the chat about the colleges. I'm going to get to that before we close out. And okay, I already answered Ed's question about Trello. Austin answered it, and then we'll wrap up after that. So I wanna go to something that, because when Alex shares this and many other students, it reminds me of a story or an emotion that I felt or that I feel in the growth and development of your professional speaking career. Now, if there's a mindset that comes with sales, most speakers are terrified of sales because they don't have a process of how to manage it from contact to close. We do teach you that to give you scripts and things of that nature. Even when you have experience like Alex, there is a rough ride when it comes to sales. Sometimes you have days when you're on top of the world. Sometimes you have a drought where you feel like, damn, there's nobody seeing the value that I'm offering. But then what happens is you learn to manage your sales funnel better. You learn to start attracting a better quality prospect. A quality booking always attracts another quality booking. And as you can see, Alex, with the tour that you're putting together, you see the caliber meeting planner that you're dealing with versus one that doesn't understand what booking a speaker is. I remember when this was many years ago, and I at first jumped up to getting $10,000 for a keynote. And somebody from Montgomery County, they wanted me to. They got referred to me by somebody else in the DC area, and they wanted me to do a keynote speech. And so I get on the phone with the meeting planner. I'm talking to her, and I'm walking through the needs assessment. And she asked me what the fees are. She said, "Okay, Kevin. I mean, I'm already sold. I got a referral. They told me you're the person I'm supposed to call, but they didn't know what your fees were." And when I told her it was $10,000, she was just flabbergasted. She said, I don't understand why you charge that much. They wanted to offer me $500. That was the budget. I said, let me explain something to you. I said, have you ever done this before? Have you ever done an event? She was like, no, this is my first time sitting on a board where I'm doing an event, but they put me in charge of the budget. Our whole budget for the entire conference is $5,000. That's the venue, that's the speakers, that's the staff, okay, I get it. I get it. I said, but I am not a $500 speaker. I'm a $10,000 speaker for 1 hour. And she didn't understand what I was trying to tell her about. So I had to educate her. I said, you can hire anybody to go speak for $500, but you're gonna get exactly what you pay for. Well, all we need is this. I said, what you're looking for is a motivational speaker. You're looking for somebody to come in and make everybody feel fluffy. I said, I'm not that guy. I said, I'm coming in, kicking ass, taking names, breaking people down, building them back up with real strategies. I said, you know what? You can't handle my kind of truth because I cost too much. And then when I finished the call with her, she understood. I am not a low fee speaker. That is what all of you need to be saying to yourself when you go to bed at night. I earn whatever your fee is. Maybe you're not saying $100,000 in your mind for a keynote for an hour, but eventually I'm going to be charging $100,000 for a keynote because I can get it. Now, if you're not thinking to yourself that you're worth it, you'll never get it. Stop thinking so low and stop taking any deal and make sure that you vet these companies because you got the hot hand as the speaker has the leverage. And don't forget that because you can go to literally hundreds of thousands of meeting planners and now your job is to find, no, I apologize. Let me take that back. You don't find, you attract the right coordinator to your brand. And it's a numbers game. Not everyone you're going to talk to is willing to pay that fee, or they don't see the value, or they simply cannot afford you, or they're not worthy of your service. Alex, stay patient, stay in the groove of what you're doing, stay resilient, and stay focused because you got nothing but higher fees coming to him because you're going to start attracting a better coordinator. You got any other questions for me?
No, that's it. That's all I had.
Okay. Thank you for sharing all the time, brother.
Of course.
And we'll be talking to you again real soon. Happy holiday season to you and your family.
Happy holidays to you and everybody on this call.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. I am going to address Jonathan King's. That's going to be our last question of the evening and for the year. But I am going to address Jonathan King. Jonathan put a question inside of the chat about the college market. I'm going to read it. Jonathan, whether or not you're still on or not, I am going to at least address the question so everybody on the group can learn. And then we're going to wrap up the Q&A tonight. Okay, so let me go back to the chat. Okay, that chat, Jonathan's question was, okay, so he's in a coffee shop, can answer the question. And he said, I've contacted 60 colleges by email about my speaking tour in February and want to know when I should start calling them to do my follow-up. For many colleges, they won't be coming back until the second week in January. That's true. So with the college market, it's really important that you speak to them prior to the new semester starting. Stay a little bit ahead of the game when you're building your relationships in the college market, because when they come back in January, they're going to be looking to book speakers for the spring. And when they come back, when they're wrapping up for the spring, they're going to be looking to book speakers in the fall. See, in the fall, they're going to be looking to book speakers for the winter programs. So you always got to stay ahead of it. JK, I like the fact that you reached out to 60 colleges and you let them know about a tour. And JK, do me a favor. I know you sent me the email out, but send us over any kind of marketing collateral or whatever it is you put in the email, whether or not it's just pointing them to your website or your speaker video demo, or if you created a new kind of one sheet to promote the tour, whatever the case is, send us over some feedback and let us know. What I would start doing is making sure that you reach out, call the coordinator if you can get them on the phone. Everybody's going away on the Christmas break, obviously. Just send out an email. Perhaps you can get some hits back on the email and get some positive feedback. And then the best thing you can do is just wait until they do get back, do start returning calls, and then see who's interested. Out of 60, let's say you can get a 5 to 10% booking rate. So let's say you get at least 5 to 10 who respond, or maybe 3 to 5 who respond. If you can get 2 out of that, and that turns into $10,000, boom, you just got your coaching fee back that you paid for the training, and you have now got your feet wet to do some other things. You got to celebrate the smaller victories, because in the beginning they don't come along that often, because you're still in the stage of training and learning and developing, and all of that takes patience. But I encourage each and every one of you. I had to put my bag of microwave popcorn in the microwave just like all of you, and I started out very, very humble beginnings, and I started out small time. But I tell you what, I had a big time vision of being where I am right now. Now, I had no idea how I was going to get there, but that's not your job in the process of you having a vision and putting it out there to the universe. You are supposed to do your part, and the universe will conspire to do its part. Your job is to think big and do whatever it is that you got to do to get your speaker business to a whole nother level. I'm going to leave you with this and these comments, and I see everybody putting some stuff in the chat box. And I will say this to you, is that as difficult as it may be to feel like you're stuck sometimes and you're not hitting the mark and you're doing many things, like you feel like you just aren't gaining any traction. The most difficult thing to do in your speaker business is to have that patience and to sit back and wait for it to unfold. So you're not sitting back and waiting for anything. What you're doing is you're in attack mode. And that is the only way that you can guarantee that you are going to give yourself the best shot at the growth and development that you deserve. This shit is not going to jump into your lap. The world of business is not designed to bend to the stick just because you want it to. You got to force execution by taking action, and that's doing the assignments. That is getting through. Listen to the fellow students that you have. Man, Alex and Trevor are in the marketplace booking speaking engagements. He's still running into his challenges. That's why he shows up for the Q&A. He doesn't want to miss anything. Hey, listen, I've been through hundreds of thousands of scenarios. That's the reason why I designed curriculum to teach you, so you don't have to go through the stuff that I had to go through. But you still got to hit the emotion. You still got to take the hit, but at least you got some place to come back to ask the questions. We're all in it together. You have got to stay prepared and stay ready. Keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, do the work, go through the curriculum, get through the next thing on your to-do list, and dominate in 2022. Is it possible? Yes. The money's there. Remember, this is the biggest wealth shift in the history of high fee speaking. There is money coming out of every office for all 4 corners of the globe of the internet. You got to do your part to make sure your speaker business is set up the right way. And see, this goes for all the people that I talk to who think that they understand this business. Because this business is very unique, just like every other business. There are very finite details. And if you focus on those finite details and pay attention to the little things, then the little things turn into big paychecks. Don't get caught up in the minutia of listening to people who don't know what they're talking about. Your family and friends can't help you, but we can help you at speakerfocus.com. Now, with that being said, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, Feliz Navidad, to everyone all across the world who is on our coaching platform, from the Gold Coast of Australia to the Netherlands to Finland to North Africa, all throughout the United States and abroad, throughout Canada. I mean, I could go on and on and on. France, we picked up some countries who I simply did not know that we reached, but we got them all this year. On behalf of the entire staff at speakerfocus.com, I want to thank you for helping this become the biggest year of our existence. I want to thank you so much for making sure that you are doing your part to be supportive. It means the world to us. We enjoy serving you at the highest level possible. We want to thank you for making us the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing for all the right reasons. And I want to wish you and your family a happy holiday season and a happy new year. Finish the year strong, and we will see you back on January 3rd to reconvene at the top of the year to get ready to kick some more ass and take names for the 2022 campaign. I love you, and I will see you really, really soon.